Episode 3, at its core, is essentially a Western. It's a cross between a Western and a samurai movie. And when I very first came in and I got the script, that was my first thought, and that's been a very strong reference that John's given us throughout the show.
Much of the Star Wars projects is that, yes, there is the Western. It is from the West, as we know it, that particular type of storytelling. But there's also, again, in all of this, there's this very Eastern kind of brushstroke or brushstrokes that go on. So, you know, there is this kind of the Buddha looking for enlightenment and searching and searching and searching and finally settling under the tree and realizing that the search wasn't out there, the search was in here.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really, for me, I felt with the pilot, my job was to show this guy as he is, as he has been, a hardened kind of weather-beaten person that, you know, has been through things we can't imagine and is just doing a job. And his job is hunting down beings and turning them in. The consequences of that, the morality of it, I get paid, you know, and the pilot slowly chips away at that idea, especially when he meets the Ugnaught. And this little, you know, being is suddenly helping him and then challenging him. And I think it starts to make the gears in Mando's head wonder, what am I doing here and where is my line? What I've lost this idea of, you know, being a mercenary or being a person.
My character, Grief, which is an interesting name, 2 E's, not an I in it, but he's, in my opinion, a businessman, and he is looking to get a particular product for the highest bidder, or for a client who is looking for something or needs to have something returned, whatever the case may be. And this businessman supplies basically those people who will go out and hunt down whatever his clients are looking for. And so Grief, in this particular story, among others, hires the Mandalorian to go out and bring back a bounty. And the bounty is worth quite a bit more, I think, than even Grief knew in the beginning.
The show, to me, in the most basic storyline, is about a man who's been following a way of life and has that way of life sort of upended by the introduction of the baby. And it sort of changes his life, and I think he's reevaluating his priorities and what means something to him in his life and in the world. So I think it's really sort of about a man discovering something about himself that he had never known until he met the child.
Having seen the screenplay, I immediately had the feeling, yes, there was something of substance there. Storytelling is something which has a perennial stability, probably since Paleolithic times, people sitting around a campfire and telling stories. So this is really good in storytelling, and it has a lot of openings for complete fantasy. And I found the dialogues and the constellations of figures in the film quite interesting. And I had the feeling, yes, that's something I should do.
There are such universal themes in the Star Wars stories, and ironically, I think people feel that it, you know, despite being fantasy, science fiction, it reflects the world we actually live in its inclusiveness and diversity and conflict and themes of good against evil. I realized, wow, these you know, in terms of war and family and personal conflict and personal journey and personal relationships, it reflects so much what our actual reality as human beings on this planet is.
In this case, since there's real things on the set, we have real cameras and real people. The sets are bigger than they were on Jungle Book, but it's essentially the same formula. And now instead of having a green screen, they had to move around in light, which took forever. And that was really the frustration that led to these innovations, which was how could we do that without green screens next time? And so that led to you have a green stage, you have pre-lit green areas that you could expose, and then it turned into these video walls where you could have green just behind the actor, and then interactive light, which we used on Jungle Book also for shadows and things on the characters, which we were inspired by, like Gravity, where they had all those video panels. So it's like we took all the technology that I've been messing around with from all those other projects and applying it to a very specific application that would work for this.
This new technology brings filmmaking back where it has been and where it should be. You can pick up a camera on your shoulder and do some sort of a choreography between your actors, and the parallaxes of the background will be organized. You see the set, and the actors see the set, and they sense it and they feel it. And this is fantastic. Filmmaking back where it should be.